Hotline. Hello, hello. Oh, there was a delay with YouTube. Hello, hello. Welcome to the welcome, clutter-free family. I'm working on that. Welcome to the Clarity Hotline. And let's get into it. Thanks for joining me. All right. I will start off with this and say that if you don't know about me and foam rolling, I'll have you know I took 2 seconds, 30 seconds to lay on my foam roller before pressing live. And mind you, I'm on time this time. So that was a big deal to me. I was like, I got to get on time. So I only had 30 seconds to give myself on the foam roller. And it was everything. It was everything. I think if you don't know about me and foam rolling, you check out my mommy moves. But it's like, it is the missing ingredient to living a full life. It is the missing ingredient for like bringing breath to the whole body and opening up the body in places that you are just stiff and sore and creaky and just feel awful in. Even as in the course of a day, it doesn't have to be, because of your age. It's just like, even though I think that has a lot to do with it for me, but it's like, well, and you know what, and motherhood. I think when I'm picking up my boys more, that definitely plays a role. Like, I don't know why I'm picking them up so much, but I'm still in the making sure they potty right phase. So I'm bending over them. And so that's not, great for the back. I need to prop this up some. And so I think I'm definitely doing it to myself. As far as the aches and the pains. But anyway, I spent 30 seconds on the foam roller and it like brought me back to life. Because I don't know about you or anyone else on this call. Who else was up at 4:30 a.m.? So already a long day, like a full half day has happened for me. And sometimes you just need to make sure you take time to slow down, stop, and put yourself first for change, even for 30 seconds. So if I can incentivize that with you guys, it works, it matters. It's not an all or nothing game. Self-care is not an all or nothing game. And yeah, so 30 seconds just to like open up my back and, get back on the computer. And I would say, I don't be surprised if I'm on my foam roller, some of these clarity hotlines, because it might be the only time in my day where I can slow down, before I crash at night or whatever, depending on how hectic the day was, which kind of leads me to some of the questions that were submitted. It's fun. It's fun. The questions that were already submitted are that we're going to get into. Chelsea asks, how can I stop wearing all the hats? I'm a solopreneur. What other choice do I have? Can you share some resources? Yes, Chelsea. Let's get into that. Good question. And I will say this. I chose the second question because I feel like the answers might overlap. So I love that. I love when there's synchronicity like that, because that is life. Like the fact that somebody can ask a question and it's completely different from somebody else and it's the same answer. This one's not so different, but it kind of is. So I'm pregnant. I'm running a successful. So let me sum this one up and then we'll get into the context. She's pregnant, running a successful online business. She is worried about how will it change when I have this baby, and what if I can't keep up with demand, because she makes jewelry. So that's fair question. Anyway, so I'll get into the context that she added. So those are the two questions that I think we can get into, because I wanted to leave time for, by the way, submit your question for next week at clarityhotline.com. Anyway, so I wanted to leave time to plug this little book that I got my boys. Am I late to the party on this one? Like, is this already everybody's known about this. I saw it on Target, my Target app. And so, yes, I did some impulse buying because this was worth it. Every little thing by Bob Marley, like I was like, is this, because it doesn't show what's inside? I will tell you what's inside. It is the lyrics to the song, to everyone's favorite song in the world. Imagine singing this with your kids. It's an absolute must. The ease of this song, the reminder to that everything's going to be all right. The reminder that just, let go of the stress and try to find the silver linings and the good in people. And, like, I don't know what you can be grateful for. Anyway, don't worry about a thing. I think this is a must for every parent ever. Did you get to see that? I was totally showing Instagram more. But anyway, I'm really excited about this book. We are reading this tonight. I had to give a plug for that. So I left room for that. But anyway, let's also leave some room for a breathing exercise, because I kind of feel like we could stand to have a little less anxiety, a little less tension in our bodies. So let's do that. Let's do that with it. Let's breathe with the intention of releasing tension and anxious sensations in the body. That's all anxiety is. Anxious sensations. It's like, you're feeling some kind of way and your brain's going to interpret that as something to be fearful of or be excited about. So it's up for you to interpret. So maybe we can breathe into those places with the goal to not jump to conclusions about what our body's telling us just because we felt it before. There's only like so many signals the body can give off. And instead we can kind of use it to be like, oh yeah, this is good. This is telling me something. Instead of saying, oh, I have anxiety and I'm stressed out. Well, you have that because you didn't go foam roll for 30 seconds in your living room. So anywho, I highly recommend, did I already say that, foam rolling? Anyway, I highly recommend changing the narrative in your head when you start to feel these sensations. Let's go ahead and do that, right? So if you can, close your eyes. If not, that's fine. Still, breathe with me in and out. And exhale. So in with that inhale, really fill up the belly, fill up the chest, fill up the whole insides, like send oxygen everywhere. And then just deflate. Exhale it all out. Release the tension. Release what just got opened up, that tension that was able to move through the body and get out and exit and leave. Let that work. And I always say, like, keep breathing till it's gone. Keep breathing till the tension lifts. Why not? That is the point. So keep breathing. And you'll notice that in order to keep breathing through the tension and not just try to go fix it by doing something instead of sitting still, notice how your brain will have to do the talking. Your brain is going to have to tell you, hey, slow down because it's worth it right now. Like, yes, you can do 10 million other things, but right now your health is important. You slowing down and breathing and releasing this tension so that it doesn't turn into a crick neck. Like, that is what's important right now. So, listen to your body and allow the narrative to change around what it all means, because that's the point. You are here to tell your own story, not have it be told to you, and then you live under somebody else's pen. You are writing the pages of your own story. Let them unfold, and as you do the writing, right? As you do the rehashing of what you experienced and the telling of that story and how it matters to your overall life and well-being and perspective and joy. So breathing, hopefully you're still breathing in and out. If you are closing your eyes, just imagine that breath being like a white light in and out, moving through the body, cleansing the body. If you're not closing your eyes, just imagine being cleansed out. Like imagine just breathing to release the tension. What does that feel like? Like I'm purposefully breathing to release the tension. What does that feel like? And how long do you have to go? Knowing that that's the objective, how long do you have to breathe for? I like to take shorter inhales and exhales because that really releases a lot of the tension you might be feeling in your body, and do it faster. So inhale for 4, exhale for 7, let's say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and on your own count. And then even if it's not that and all you really can focus on is just breathing, then just breathe. Breathe with the way the body wants to breathe. We don't have to bring logic and numbers and the mind into when the breath just needs all attention on it. So just know that. Just know that you've got all the tools to win at this life. You've got what you need. Okay. Okay, should we begin? Are we clear? Did we rinse it all away and feel good and present? All right, let's do it. Especially if you're watching the replay later, then you are in a position, I'm sure, to maybe close your eyes. So that was for you. Take your time, press pause, and then come back. Okay, so Chelsea asks, how can I stop wearing all the hats? I'm a solopreneur. What other choice do I have? I love her question, by the way, the way she writes it. Can you share some resources? Oh man, it is. I feel like I'm gonna jump into the second question about pregnancy brain and stuff like that, because I just can't help it, because that is part of the answer to this question. But ultimately, we're wearing a lot of hats as parents. Sorry, the monitor's moving. We're wearing a lot of hats as entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, just any founder of businesses. And that to me tells me you're scattered. I can already tell by the question that you're scattered. If you're a solopreneur and you haven't hired help yet, why are you wearing so many hats if you don't have the money to take some of the weight off your shoulders? Why are you wearing hats you don't need to be wearing? You're CEO founder. Do what CEO founder needs to do till that solopreneur becomes a team, till you have people at arm's reach, right? To call on and rely on to pass the baton on things that don't need your front and center attention. First and foremost on the docket. You can hand that to somebody else for that to be their first and foremost on the docket for their day. You stay CEO and founder through it all. And you're scattered as a solopreneur because you're wearing all the hats, because you think you need a website. You think you need to be posting however many times on however many platforms. So you've got, whatever social media app right now, you're on Pinterest, Planoly, you're on Hootsuite, Sprout Social, all so that you can buffer. What's another one? So that you can automate your social media marketing onto all the channels, instead of just really perfecting growing a community on one. And that's where your attention is, right? If you're not making sales enough to start to hire the team, then you don't need to be doing the nice to haves. You don't need to be doing the things that would just, it would be nice to have if you're free and you've got time and I'm paying you, you might as well work on this. Don't busy yourself with the nice to haves when you have not done your CEO founder seat enough today to start to bring in the revenue that will allow you to hire somebody. So that's important, because there's only one thing right now in your business that you should be focused on as a CEO. And I'm calling you CEO because just own it. Just own it. You're a founder of a business. I can call you founder if that's better. But as a founder of a business, you're CEO. You're in that seat of overseeing everything. That's what I mean by CEO. You're not an employee. So don't task yourself like an employee. Don't do all the things that you think a big business needs to have with a CEO, focused on being a community leader, right? Leading with one message to one person, selling one product on one platform. And you really have to think that granular with where your focus needs to be every day. And if until that's built out, you have no business doing anything else. Everything else can wait. And the good thing about AI and tech these days is that the minute you're ready to, start building a list, which is day one, MailChimp or Kit are great options. And I'm sure there's more. I think what's one I've seen recently? Front Door? No, not Front Door. I can't remember. I don't know. What is that one? I think it's big in Australia. But anyway, email marketing, automating your marketing with these tools like MailChimp. So sending out emails, setting up a nurture sequence or a sell sequence so that it goes on and drips these emails to them. That's doing the heavy lifting of moving these people to buy, moving this prospective customer to buy. So that's kind of what marketing automation would be. And if you get any of those tools, then you can also build landing pages. You don't need a website, just a simple landing page, having some people sign up for your free seminar, having somebody sign up to receive a free download or pay for the download. I'm pretty sure Kit allows for payments, but like they're getting that snazzy, that you can get that scrappy with this, with being a solopreneur, focused on the most important things. And I think there are times in our lives that lend themselves well to kind of wearing all the hats and having the late nights and doing the thing and the networking and being everywhere all at once. And because you could, right? You had the time, the wherewithal, the energy, and certainly the drive and the conviction of your idea to even want to do those things, right? Push yourself onto the world, broadcast yourself to anybody who will listen. That's good for the single something. And then you've got the married person where responsibilities start to increase as far as now I've got to communicate about everything I do. And it's not just me anymore. And my business impacts, my household. And then kids, then it really impacts your household. The time away from your family impacts your household when you're spending it on your business. So we moms don't get to wear all the hats. And I say get to because, yes, don't wear all the hats, especially as a mom. You have got to simplify. And I'm answering Jessica's question already. Anyway, you've got to simplify. And I know that as a mom, my job is to simplify every single day. It's that is what I focus on. Simple, simple, simple. But it's not as though I wasn't thinking this way before kids. I absolutely was. I just maybe need it simpler in a different way now. And so did something get delivered? So here's what I want to tell you, Chelsea. So as a CEO, you're focused on, launching, selling, engaging with people about your product, right? And the cycle repeats. That's what you're focused on. And anything else from there, is a business card going to help you do that? Or can you just exchange Instagram right there and DM them, if you met them, or airdrop your contact card? It's just, do you need business cards? I don't know, maybe you do, but try for 30 days without them. Try for 30 days without them. And this is what I mean by not only is marketing testing and testing your product and things like that, but testing how simple you can get a customer. That's also worth testing. Can I get a customer without a business card? Well, I should try it for at least 30 days and see if I can get a customer without having a business card. That would be worth trying, right? Can I get a customer without having a website? That would be worth trying, because you never know the base formula for your business if you don't give it a try with nothing, with the barest bones of you just coming and having a chat with the person, with the stranger at the cafe at the table across from you. Like you'll never know if you don't strike these conversations and find the coincidences where you can be like, oh, well, this is a great segue to make my offer, right? To pitch my event, whatever. It's like that is the natural salesperson, I guess, in me, but it doesn't need, it's not salesy. It's what people are saying now. You're not selling, you're sharing. Yeah, share your story. But don't share until you've heard theirs. But like, you know what I mean? This is just having a conversation and being so interested in the pain somebody's having because you have a solution. You're like, this, you don't need to be going through this. I have something that's perfect. And maybe I haven't built it out yet, but I've been thinking about it. And so I will build this prototype if you will pay me in advance. See how that all works? But I want to give you 4 key ingredients to that you want to get crystal clear on. If anyone else is in her shoes, you can, I don't want to say her. I didn't want to use pronouns in Chelsea's shoes. 4 ingredients to be crystal clear on so that your capacity starts to grow. So here you'll notice that within this, there's the CEO job and the employee job. Okay. But everyone has got an MIT. I'm sure you've heard these words. So MIT, most important tasks. So there's a single focus. I'm driving this home again. If you've heard me say it, a single most important focus to have for every single day. You want to know that going into your day. And you really do know that if you've done your weekly plan, if you've done your project goals, maybe your year based on your year's goal, your year's objective or theme, and your overall life vision, right? Vision for your life. So everything's leading in the same direction. You're not ever going to be fragmented if you're aligned. So that most important task is just, that needs to be number 1. What's your most important task when you're starting? Well, getting your first customer, especially if you're in service-based businesses, coach, consultant, service provider, getting your first customer. I would think in tech as well, right? To validate the offer, validate that you've got the philosophy that resonates with people who are in the market for what your product cures. So that is how you kind of come up with your MIT. Then there's the MVP, minimum viable product. So I'm sure you've heard that before. You should be doing nothing else but getting clear on this. So this is what I meant, like by base bones. How simple can I make this offer without bells and whistles until somebody's like, ears perk up and I'm interested. Tell me more. Simpler the better. Simple sells. What's the thing? Simple sells, complex fails or something. I don't know. Anyway, a confused customer does not buy. So you want everything to be simple. So at the gate, just be simple. Try to dare yourself to get as simple as possible when it comes to what you're selling, product or service. And then do you know what it is and how you're selling it? So here's where your MVP kind of lends itself to the right channels online if you're an online business. And then one that I created, MOM, for obvious reasons. MOM, it's how you niche, and it means mission, offer, message. So one mission, one offer, one message. Mission being your who, what, why, right? So who are you talking to? One person. What are you telling them? What are you saying? And why does it matter to you and for them? So there's very much this like community building that if you haven't built a community, this is going to be hard for you to discover, because you haven't talked to enough people who've told you their story in their words, and you saw the through line between your story and your words in terms of, oh, how can this help them? So that's mission, offer, message. Oh, and then something that might help you with your messaging is think about, what are you all about? So these are values, your personality being you, right? Really showing up as you, honest And yeah, anyway, showing up as you. And then what are you saying that everyone needs to hear? Right? Why is it so important that everyone needs to hear it who has this problem? And if you haven't found something that everything needs to, if you haven't found a way of saying that thing, or an MVP that is doing that thing that everyone needs to hear about it, then you aren't convicted enough. You're not into this. You need to go back to the product and figure out what will get you really excited about this thing, and spend a little bit more time, maybe even deciphering what's really helping you. You might have thought it was, what you did last week, but maybe you're realizing, oh no, that's not helping me today. I need something else. Well, then now it's becoming a system, right? There's protocol. There's a step 1 and a step 2, because I first did this and this helped me do this week, but then I also needed this week. And so I'm moving through my life and I'm actively solving my own problem. And then I'm expressing it to everybody, letting everybody know who will listen that this worked for me. It's like talking to a friend. This worked for me. It might work for you. Literally over dinner. Who cares? Over drinks. It's like, how many times do you do that on a regular basis? Suggest something, or even you writing a review on Amazon is you doing that, is you being convinced enough that other people would benefit from what I think about this thing. And imagine having your own intellectual property, your own blood, sweat, and tears behind the thing, enough to be pushing something that you created, that you're like, oh man, I know this works. How powerful is that? And of course, you don't only have to go about this work and be passionate about this kind of thing if you're an affiliate or an integrator, CFO, COO, CMO, like you're not maybe the head honcho that built the thing, but you're passionate about the thing. So obviously this is people are excited about people who are excited about something. It's like, if you've got confidence, people are drawn to that. And if your confidence is around something, people are drawn to what you're drawn to. People want to know what you know. They want to be in your world. They want to buy what you're selling. They want to hear what you have to say. So it's just about, as a CEO, finding those people. That's numero uno. And then, of course, you might have heard of ATM. So your ATM, this is the 4th thing. So I don't know if this was Ryan Dice or Russell Brunson who I learned this from, but it was a long time ago. Basically, how are you going to make recurring revenue in this business so that you're not, pitching new business every single day, and that's the only way you're putting food on the table. Like, you need to have something that's passive, that's been proven once, a funnel, right? That's been proven once and taken somebody through A to Z in their customer lifetime with you. What's that journey look like, A to Z? And it's like, I've taken them through this journey with me, and they've bought along the way these things. And this is what I can put in a marketing automation tool like MailChimp, and send that out and let that be working. That's one way to do it. Also, the marketing behind something that's has live support. The marketing behind that could be automated, but the live support kind of happens every month, every quarter, or every week for some groups, for some offers. And anyway, so you want to make recurring revenue without you needing to lift a finger every single day of your life to do the same thing that you've done before to make money. And you want to make lots of it, right? The CEO is going to start to look to that, or task somebody with it, and then give them the top line, high level, summary of what they should do next. It's like, they should be looking at, how can I duplicate this? So I did it once. What else extends along the customer journey that I can now build a new funnel and start to, grow, have these people grow with me, because I'm also growing, I'm also evolving. And so I hire a team to help me implement my product suite number 2, right? I've got my product suite number 1, then I move to, 2, 3, 4, and upward from there. And that's how you build an empire. And not everything's going to look the same. It's not always going to be an online product. Maybe your next product is a makeup line. Maybe your next product is you buy into a dog grooming service, right? But you've proven the system, you've proven how you work and how, based on your who, what, why, your mission, your offer, your message originally, how that's starting to morph. The clearer you are in the beginning, which is why, take some time here. The clearer you are in the beginning, the simpler it is to scale. Because the through line stays the same. Not everything is completely generic or, out of left field when it comes to, repeating the process. And I think that is, that's like brilliant infrastructure if you can kind of have that foresight, because a lot of times, a lot of stuff is done in hindsight, or a lot of people will shutter their businesses because they aren't in love with it anymore. They are disenfranchised with the avatar. They don't connect with the solution anymore. Maybe they've proven it wrong. Maybe after a while it didn't work. That might be the case, right, for affiliate sales if it's not your product, something that's worked for you continuously. So that's kind of what you want to be thinking about. And obviously the CEO is doing the hiring of those teams, the tech, and putting in play all the pieces, or at least approving all the pieces when you've got people wearing the hats other than you. And you put specialists in their place. Make sure you're putting specialists in their place. And as you build this business, the next hat you need to hire is going to really be revealed to you, because just like you walk up the staircase 1 foot at a time, and that's all you need is 1 step at a time to walk up the staircase. You don't need to see the whole staircase to do your work here at this foot of the staircase, at this level. So you just kind of 1 foot in front of the other. And so you've got the clarity with that, with this right now, this step I'm in right now, I've got clarity. Then everything starts to build from there. And then it's going to be obvious, well, at this step, I need to hire this team, this tech, I need to employ this tech, this tool. It's going to be kind of made clear, because you're not losing sight of the vision. So your stairway to heaven goes there. That you are not deviating from the things that really light you up. You haven't compromised on that, right, at any point. And so you're feeling really good about the trajectory, the path you're on, the direction you're going. That's clarity in business. And that is you not wearing all the hats. That's not you wearing the hats. That's you focused on what a CEO focuses on, and then hiring as you go to lighten your load in the areas where it's like, okay, well, I started to have to build out email sequences, obviously, because I had to build out the first one, but then I'm going to bring on don't use this as your next step. I'm going to bring on a copywriter, hire somebody from Upwork to write out some more sequences, or maybe some of my sequencing branches out and I'm offering something here, but not to everybody. And so I've got to use some logic there on how people will get these emails. And so I'm just going to bring somebody on and kind of have them do the deep dive there and the deep work there, because they're specialists there. And so I get to now still operate in my genius and in my higher self, be connected to that intuition and that clarity, so that this business still does boom. This still does churn. And because I'm putting in the right people to help me clear my mind of the thing that's taking a lot of energy right now, that's pulling me from the thing that's making me money, right? Because you didn't step up to the next step before you made money, right? In the first step, you're making money. So reinvest that into the business where it feels appropriate. And then you've got help, right? You've got a plate lifted, weight lifted off your shoulders. You don't have to juggle it all anymore. You don't have to wear all the hats. So I would say, think about the hats you're wearing and why are you wearing them all? And then how can you take them all off and keep the one CEO hat on? Okay. That, I think, wraps that one up, because I feel like Jessica's question is still a little bit along these lines too. New mom turned entrepreneur, or going to be, entrepreneur turned new mom, I should say, because she says, I'm pregnant and I'm running a successful online business selling jewelry. She's been in business about 3 years and now really enjoys it. How will having this baby change that? And what if I can't keep up with demand? I'd hate to think that I will just end the business after all the hard work I put into making a name for myself. And that's a big deal. I don't know where you're selling. If you have an online store or if you're selling on something like Etsy. Either way, I know it's a lot. It's a lot to keep up with, especially if you're selling on Etsy. There's the overhead of paying for Etsy and marketing, maybe some SEO. It's a just like any platform, you need to be seen, right? So you're working a little bit, I'm sure, after 3 years on how to be seen on your site or in the World Wide Web if you just have your lone site, right? And maybe you're pushing people through social media. So I hear you. And I will say this, the baby will absolutely change it. The baby will absolutely change your business and your focus. I should say this, your baby will absolutely change your business because it changes your focus. And that is inevitable. I don't care who you are, like it just will. And if you are an entrepreneur and going to stay an entrepreneur, then you might find that there's some time to simplify some more, get back into that CEO seat, get back down to basics, and stop wearing all the hats. Stop wearing all the hats. So whatever you're doing to maintain this business, if you like making jewelry, maybe that's all you're doing and you're posting it, but you're not doing any of the back end. You're still just paying Etsy the fee or the web host the fee, whatever, you know what I mean by that, but not actively marketing maybe. So hopefully in these 3 years, you've gained a community, you've gained some traction behind you. People know to look for you maybe, and you post when you can post. I wouldn't suggest keeping the same momentum maybe you are now, without the baby, keeping the same momentum and maybe the same posting schedule or upload or even delivery time, right? Fulfillment time and making the piece and shipping it out. Those all might have to change. And so I respect any owner who's like, hey, this is what's changed in my business and I'm going to still serve you, but here's how my changes over here are going to affect how I fulfill for you there. I still love you. Thank you for coming. Here's what's new with me. And I'm so glad you're here. And check out my new stuff coming out as often as I can put it out, right? Holding yourself to no rules, no hard and fast rules, because there's the mental load, right? Things that you didn't have to commit to. You didn't have to commit to. So why did you? Why did you? Because you think things will sink if you don't keep up that same pace. Have you tried it? Right? It's kind of going back to simplifying again. Well, how little can you get away with and still make a customer? And if you are having a baby, you deserve some downtime that you can really see that, hey, this is all I can do. It's actually nothing. I want to just be with my baby. I don't want to touch Etsy. We'll put it on vacation. Put a little sign on your website on maternity leave. So it's like if you if you put yourself first, you kind of know what the situation calls for. You know that being a mom takes work. I know for me, I was fanatical about like everything. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And so when I get fanatical about something, I read and study and I spend time. I'll stay up reading instead of going to sleep. And I was doing that for my boys, my firstborn. I read so much, even through the pregnancy, how to be pregnant well, and then how to deliver. And then what does he need from me after he's born, all the way through. I mean, I'm still reading parenting books. So I devour this information when it matters to me. And so that took up a lot of my time from my business. And it was already a clumsy time. Postpartum is already a clumsy time. Milk stains on my shirt going to Target. My husband's like, what are you wearing? I don't care. I don't effing care what anybody thinks. I have a newborn baby. If there's milk stains on my shirt, whatever. Okay. Do you care that much? I know you don't. I know you're going to see it. You're going to comment in your brain, oh, milk stain. Oh, she's a mom, and maybe love me for it. Or maybe you're going to be like, can't she put a new shirt on before she steps out? And then you're going to forget about me. And I'm okay with that. because I don't care. I care that my baby gets his milk. So see how like drilling down to the bare minimum will make such a messy time of life more peaceful so that you can be with the mess, you can be with the moments that matter because all the other stuff doesn't. And I just saw, and I'm seeing this constantly, I know you guys are too, where on social media it's like accounts that are blowing up and they're posting 5, 6 times a day, every single day. And they've got stories every single day and they're selling something and sharing their income claims and whatever to try to get the click. And that's all happening, and then they ghost for 10 months, like what happened with this account, Social with Carrie, I think. I just saw her say, I'm back from 10-month hiatus, and I know she had her third or second baby. It gets less, have less and less time the more kids you have. And that maternity leave and that postpartum time frame requires a lot more from you because you've got your body delivering on all those different phases of life for your kids, not just a newborn, but a toddler, not just a toddler, but a teen, not just, a teen, but a college student, depending on, how late you're starting over again. It's like that is the spread of your attention, and you want to be a good parent, right? And so, of course, you're going to let some things go. So it's going to get a little bit messy. You're going to let some things go, and you should drop some balls. Tiffany Dufu's book, read it, drop the ball. Highly recommend it. But basically, I will say this, it's going to change. What can you do about it to get ahead of it? I say start to let your community know. However, I'm sure they know. I'm sure you've been sharing maybe pictures of your baby bump. And hope, and I'm sure it's engaging and people are loving you and just, as they should. This is a cool thing. Having a baby is a special thing. So give into that. There's no reason to fight it. And then start to prepare for, if you didn't go the speed at which you're going right now, what would you want it to look like? If you had to scale everything back, even some of the expenses you have that are helping you run this business, if you had to scale everything back, because maybe now you're paying for diapers, it's like, what would that look like? How can you maintain the business because you love it, right? You love it. After all the hard work I put into making it. Oh no, she says, I really enjoy it. Been in business about 3 years now, and I really enjoy it. So do you love it? Do you love it? Is it like, do you wake up thinking about it, salivating for your chance to work on another jewelry piece or collect a bead from around the world and bring it home and create this amazing bracelet, like, from pieces all over in your travels? I love that kind of stuff. But that's passion. If you just really enjoy it, then you're going to be hard pressed to find a reason to get back to it after baby, because unless it's just to make money and it's making crazy amounts of money, and then you're like, okay, well, then hire somebody to help you. And that's how you can use this time in pregnancy to prepare for postpartum, is put somebody on it, start to train people up. If you've got that kind of cash coming in, reinvest. If you don't, and you just really enjoy it, look into yourself. How can you love it? What is it about it that you don't love? And how can you get rid of that? And now is the time to declutter and do it. And I would say, if you don't love it right now, during your maternity, it's something I suggest, if you're looking to start a business in maternity because you don't want to go back to work. A lot of clients who have that scenario, I like to suggest they use maternity to slow down, be with baby. That's what this is. Bond with the baby and bond with the new you, because you're a new person. Bond with the new you, and bond as a family. So, okay, bonding. So leave time for that. But there's also going to it's going to happen. You're going to have these slow, quiet times because you're with baby and you're enjoying. And then your mind starts going off into, I just want to do everything and anything for this baby. And then you're dreaming about, well, how can I do that? Oh, I can start a business and make money. Well, stay in the daydream of that. Stay there, dreaming up some juicy, rich scenarios about what it can look like. What would this business look like? And how would it be so flexible that you have all the time that you want with baby? No sacrifices need to be made with baby, in any amount greater than you want to make, basically, right? So put your whole self into this. You've got some quiet time, some dark rooms to be in for who knows however many times a day, for however long in those days that you'll be in there. And use that time not to scroll social media, and not to post about the baby. Yes, do that on occasion. Maybe, carve out some time in your month to do that and just photo dump. But it's like, if you want to start a business, then this is the time to do some soul searching, do some deep diving into yourself, some self inquiry about what makes me happy. What do I see as me spending time on when my baby's over there in the bassinet sleeping and going to wake up in an hour? What would I want to spend my time on there? If it's not, doing dishes, tidying up, or resting or napping too. If I wasn't to do that, what would I really be inspired to do? Think about that, because there's your answer. On that foundation of being inspired and in flow with everything that brings you to life, that's going to be the step in the direction of your purpose, your passion, and that's going to be what sustains you through the hard times. And that is what's going to also inform your systems and your team around how to help you better, and your family. You're going to be better informed on how to ask for help, because you're going to know what matters most. What matters most is that I not run this meeting at 2 p.m. It's my nap time with my baby. So get that off your schedule. Do you need to have that meeting? What was that meeting about? Do you still need that team member? Can that team member, if they're a contractor, then, they're used to the freelance life, and so you can let them go. If it's a team member, what else can you put them on? Or, just more autonomy. What happens in a corporate environment on maternity leave? Somebody else has to step up in your shoes. You would have had to hire a temp. So it's like all these things you get to think about when you're preparing for something such as this. And I mean, and on a smaller level for vacation, right? Preparing for vacation, so that it's not always this big undertaking to go on vacation. I've got so many fires to put out, so many loose ends to tie up, that I can't even sleep before I go on vacation. I'll wait till I can sleep. I'll wait till I'm on vacation to sleep. And that's all well and good. That is for sure. But if you make sure you leave some time in your vacation for that buffer day of travel, of, let me just be here and not have to force myself into doing anything, because then vacation starts to feel like just another hectic, frenetic schedule. It's not anything relaxing. If that's what you went on vacation to have, then you want to make sure that you're leaving yourself some time in your travel, in your trip itinerary, to, right, woosah real quick, and then get to sightseeing. And that, I think, this also works for, right? This methodology of simplifying. I do think, simplifying isn't for the faint of heart. It doesn't come naturally to people, because it's a muscle you have to build. It's a muscle you have to work on, to think this way. So that the idea of simplifying, you've got like 8 different options. You can be like, pick one. And that is the ultimate surefire, rapid fire way to simplify. Get help in the simplifying department. You've already started. That's the hardest part. The second hardest part is simplifying everything, keeping things simple, making sure you start simple. that is, I think, the challenging part. And that's why I love working with moms. Um, Chelsea asked for resources. So I'll just plug this. I love working with moms. So I do have my mastermind for entrepreneur moms, because simplifying, who has time as a mom to simplify? Just tell me what to do. However, there's a problem with that. That's a little problematic too, to just be like, tell me what to do. I know we want to say that a lot as entrepreneurs, just tell me what to do so that I can make money. But that's an immediate detour from what you're trying to build. And now you're building someone else's business. Don't tell me what to do. Tell me how to think through my challenge so that I can get a solution that works for me. I'm building a business on my terms. So I don't want a business that runs me. I want a business that I run. And that's it. Um, I don't know any, after over 10 years in business, I don't know any other way to have business be easy, but than to simplify everything. And I believe CEOs, when they've made it, it's like they've got a big team under them, because they can go golf and pitch their business. Notice how the CEO is still pitching business on the golf course. I know that's such a cliche scenario. Are we trying to like normalize other things? The CEO in the barbershop, and the CEO in the nail salon, the CEO in the at the park with their kids, right? It's like, anyway, whatever. You are doing this work all throughout your business's life, and it's what fires you up, right? Keeps you going. You can't help but talk about this, because this is your thing. Oh, my next new project is this. I'm so excited about this, and so keep that light alive. Make sure that you are giving into that part of yourself, because that's the whole reason you built this business. Why do anything else? And then hire when you can. As soon as that income starts to come in, reinvest in something to take the load off your shoulders. That's the best way, I think, to get scrappy, get started fast now, today, is not to put so much in the way of you starting because that's why people don't start. It's also why people quit. They've overcomplicated the process, and they're overwhelmed. We're so overwhelmed because we're watching everybody else operate their businesses in different ways, doing different things, that you're trying to piecemeal your business. You've got this hodgepodge of systems and tools and resources that worked for somebody else. So I know it can work for me as long as I can implement it. But then there's the learning curve, and I don't have the time to put that into play, which means that I should put this whole thing on hold when you don't have to. Because if I was on maternity leave, I would be doing that deep inquiry and that soul searching, finding out what I'm really passionate about, start to tell people about it, maybe post a few pictures about what I'm working on while I'm nursing my baby, things like that. That starts to get woven into this more metamorphosis of you and your business. So anyway, the Mastermind for Entrepreneur Moms is for new moms turned entrepreneur and moms turned entrepreneur. So it's like you're new in some regard, right? So some aspect of your life has to get super simple real fast, because you've got a lot of life to live. You got people who need you. You've got clients and kids, and your self-care. So you've got a lot on your plate. And I want to encourage you to keep going. I'll include the link to the mastermind below. Submit next week's question at clarityhotline.com. I will see you next week on Thursday, noon Pacific. And that is how I'm going to end this. I think that really puts a nice little bow. But thank you, Chelsea and Jessica, for your question. And I love how those two overlapped, even though I don't even know, Chelsea, if you have kids. But anywho, I hope that helped. Submit your questions. Peace. I'm trying to stop them at the same time.